People's views on hard drugs and guns are pretty eye-opening in terms of the endless cycle that both sides constantly revolve around. People who think guns should be illegal say it's the gun's fault when people die, not the operator of them. People who think hard drugs should be legal say it's the drug's fault when people die, not the user of them. Both sets of people think the object and not the person are the reason behind the bad things that happen, yet one side wants the one thing to be legal, while the other side wants the other thing to be illegal, even though their views on the issues are basically identical. If roles were reversed, and hard drugs were legal and guns weren't, the news stories we'd be hearing about would be mass overdoses in schools rather than mass shootings, and celebrities would be shooting themselves instead of ODing. And pretty much nothing will have changed in the minds of people because you'd still have the one side who wants the one thing to be legal, and the other side who wants the other thing to be illegal. What I'm getting at is that the population is always so intent on rushing for the maximum amount of change and reform that it's like a seesaw dangling over a lava pit. If one side is too far down, they're getting burned alive, so in their pursuit to propel the momentum upwards, they push the other side of the seesaw into the lava, and then those people are melting, so they react the same way and push the original people back into the lava, and nobody for 1 second is ever thinking about how we can balance this fucking thing without anybody taking a magma bath. That's why it pays to sit in the middle. I don't lean too far to the left or right, and as such, I'm never in any danger of combustible death. I don't think guns should be illegal, but I don't give a shit that they're legal either. Similarly, I don't think hard drugs should be legal, but who am I to care that they're not? I'm not trying to protect any rights or laws as if I would have any reason to concoct a personal stake in the matter. What I can find it in myself to hate and be annoyed by, though, are the people on either side of these issues that feel like they have to take action and enact reform. And I don't mean politicians. That's what they would have you believe is their job. I mean normal, stupid people who think they're the harbingers of prosperity and changing tides because they have opinions that supposedly everyone needs to know about and respect and get behind. In related news, I hate the news. The TV news is nothing more than the BuzzFeed of local irrelevance. They're trying so desperately to continue being a staple in the lives of people without cable that they have completely lost all forms of integrity. The only respectable reason to watch the channel whatever news is to see the weather forecast so you can have someone to be mad at when it's wrong. The only time the TV news is ever even profitable for itself is when there's a national tragedy to take our minds off the fact that nothing worthwhile ever happens in our city. Whenever a local crime happens and the anchors have security camera footage, they always act so excited. A man robs a convenience store, and it's all caught on camera, as if they aren't installed everywhere and consistently recording in 1080p, minus about 1075p. All security camera footage is blurry. I don't understand. I walk into a grocery chain, look up at myself in the camera, and see myself resoluting just fine, but I bet if I then went over to the counter and demanded money from the register, suddenly real life isn't HD anymore. Do security cameras get scared? Is that the reason? They see a crime in progress like, oh shit, this is why they hired me. I can't let them down. Oh, but I'm so nervous and shaky. Then the anchors always show a still of the robber, who according to the camera, just has no face whatsoever. All facial features wiped clean from the server memory somehow. And they're still like, if you recognize this man, please call local authorities. Like someone would be like, yes, 911? I saw that guy you were looking for. I was walking through a forest at night collecting pages off of tree trunks, and I turned around and he was right behind me. And then everything turned to static for a bit, so yeah, anyway, check the forest. Hands down, the worst part of the news, though, is inspirational stories. I hate them, in general. I don't want to hear rags to riches stories. I prefer riches to more riches. Or riches to rags could be fun, too. But usually it has something to do with someone with a disability who the public labels a hero because he has a disability. I have a disability, and I'm the only one who calls me a hero. I saw one story about a kid with no legs who joined his middle school or high school wrestling team. I'm like, that's just straight up not fair. There's obstacles to be overcome, and then there's obstacles that can win any match against you by lifting you up by your arms and swinging you around like a baby monkey. Anybody who ever lost to that kid is either more disabled or just had a boner for doing the right thing. Which, how is it, by the way? Every match that Binacle wins, look up Binacle, B-I-N-A-C-L-E, in Google image search, you'll see why that's hilarious. Every match that Binacle wins, he has to second guess himself like, did I just win based on my own skills and merits through overcoming my disability? Or is it the way, way, way more likely answer of, this guy let me win so people would think he's a saint, and now for some reason I'm expected to appreciate the sacrifice these condescending assholes keep making for me. Now Binacle's like, I'm not breaking any barriers, I'm just a dude with no legs that can't wrestle for shit who's getting all this praise from people who can't believe I haven't killed myself yet. That's not positive reinforcement for a kid with a disability. Condescending their very existence by showering them with undeserved awards and accolades is not helping. It would be offensive if I found anything to ever be offensive. It's tragic when a lifelong dream is prevented by a terrible accident, but trying to do things by half measures is only going to set yourself up for embarrassment and my ridicule. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.